bit. President William Ruto has trained his sights on the transformation of the Kibra slums into a model residential estate. The president's statement during a church service in Langata rekindles the dreams of previous governments and dreams that were never realized. NTV's Sydney Chazima takes a look at the impact of President Ruto's slum upgrading ambition and the challenges therein.
President William Ruto has now vowed that the government will change the housing landscape in Kibra.
Hii Kibera slum iko hapa na zile slums ziko Nairobi. Kwanza hii ya Kibera in 10 years hakutakuwa na slum hapa. There will be no slum. Hii tutakuwa tumeibadilisha imekuwa estate.
This statement, however much new in the current setup, speaks to a 2-decade ambition by past governments to change the outlook of Kibra slum. In 2003-2004, the Mwai Kibaki-led NAC government, in collaboration with UN Habitat and other stakeholders, kick-started the slum upgrading project. The project came to fruition in 2009-2010 under the Grand Coalition government, spearheaded by the late Mwai Kibaki and then Prime Minister Raila Odinga. Approximately 600 houses were put up. The houses hosted an estimated 1,200 residents drawn from the Soweto area in Kibra. But it wasn't long before the residents, driven by greed, cunningly rented out the units at a higher price and relocated back to the slums. Others cited lack of essential services like piped water as the reason for their relocation to the slums. Other challenges to the slum upgrading included lack of tenure agreements, conflict between tenants and landlords, competing interests, and lack of adequate land. 2 decades later, the Kenya Kwanza government is committing to eradicate slums through the affordable housing plan.
Watu wamenipigia kelele kidogo, lakini watakuja kugundua ya kwamba hii ni kitu mzuri. Itatusaidia wa vijana wapate ajira, Wakenya tupate manyumba, tuishi katika mahali kuna heshima, kwa sababu kwa sasa tuko na Wakenya karibu milioni 6 wanaishi katika slums katika taifa letu la Kenya, and we must be concerned about them.
Away from matters housing in the informal settlements to matters school feeding, the project, dubbed Dish in a County by the Nairobi County government, has had its fair share of challenges and opposition.
Kesho mimi naenda kuandika statement DCI kwa sababu ya defend Dish in a County. And Your Excellency, it is very, very sad. I hope the governor will brief you about that, because our enemies are still working.
The president acknowledged the impact of the school feeding program to children from the informal settlements.
Watoto wengi hawaendi shuleni kwa sababu wako na njaa. Na ndio tumesema this year tutaongeza watoto wale watapata chakula shuleni kutoka watoto 1.5 mpaka watoto 4 every year.
Equally, some of the informal settlements have also been earmarked as hotspots for flooding, with the county government of Nairobi readying itself for the coming El Nino rains.
Your Excellency, we've started with the regional commander, with all the DCCs, with our sub-county admins, our disaster teams. We are going to publish areas where people must move. There are some areas where we will need to move people because we're just timing. Around the 9th, that is the forecast.
The Kenya Kwanza government ascended to power, promising to transform the fortunes of hustlers, majority of whom dwell in the informal settlements. Keen to observe are the steps the government will take to ensure its new 10-year ambition to eradicate slums in Kibra comes to fruition. Sydney Chazima, NTV.